Everyone, this is Xantus, as I like to be called on Gaia, and I'm here to talk about the subject of racism because, well, there's been a lot of it going around lately, and I still just been asking myself why. Why is there still racism? It is 2012. There's still racism that just pretty much sets us back like a hell of a lot. I mean, because to me, I mean, sure, there were like a lot of things that happened years ago, you know, like for one, slavery, blah, blah, blah. Slavery regarding black people, white people taking black people to America, selling them as slaves, shit like that. I mean, like, I understand that sort of torques our jaws a little bit, but at the same time, that happened like 500 years ago. That has nothing to do with the white people nowadays. That had everything to do with back then. There's a fine line between the past and present. We must learn this. And, well, I mean, like, I'll admit there are still some racist white people, but those people are still the ignorant bastards that are latching on to the past, as well as the racist bastards that are black that are latching on to the past as well. So why not just try and get along rather than always bitching and complaining about how life is not fair? Because it isn't. It really is not. But it's not just for your race. Life is not fair for white people. White people today are in the same exact crisis as black people today. Because like we have financial struggles. White people have financial struggles as well. They just choose to do shit with their lives. We'll occasionally do shit. You know, we've invented a good portion of the shit. I'll put it that way. I know that much. But the problem is like we're pretty much just complaining about bullshit that has nothing to do with today. And besides, even if you are a racist, the the race nowadays everyone's like pretty much having sex, you know, with different races, and your grandchild or child will be multiracial most likely. Just saying. So within like 5 years, the race that you dislike strongly, within a few years or a generation or two, give it a generation or two, you will see that the race that you despise so much will end up in your family one way or another, be it through marriage or having a child with the race that you dislike, which falls under the category of marriage, but some people just don't get married and do it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, you'll end up being mixed with something either way. And besides, even if you aren't, most people nowadays are mixed with something. I know I am. I'm black and mixed with a bunch of different stuff. But I mostly claim black because it's just easier. You know, it's just easier. And besides, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to go on a rant here. But like in the end it's just pointless. And also, the world is gonna be coming to an end soon, so what's the point of it? I mean, I'm not stressing anything. I'm sorry, I had to sit down. Standing up is just way too much pressure. But in, but like when the end of the world comes, we're gonna have to rely on each other. I mean, I'm just saying it's gonna happen one way or another, and I believe it's gonna happen when we least expect it. And we're gonna have to rely on each other, which involves the race that we despise the most. Because there's only gonna be a handful of people that survive it, and well, you kind of have to rely on each other. I mean, it's life. You can't survive on your own because it's just you could, but it just would be very miserable. But as but why not just try and get along with the people of today? You know, because like everyone's gonna die. Why not make the most of it while we're alive? Because personally, I don't want to sit here and constantly bitch or moan about shit that doesn't even have shit to do with me. I'm not complaining. Hell, most of my friends are white. I have a lot of friends that are multiracial, but those that those that still latch on to racism, they have no problem with me. They just have a problem with what happened back then, and they understand that it has nothing to do with them, which is partially why I'm friends with them in the first place, because I understand that it's not I don't blame them, they don't blame me, it's no one's fault but our ancestors who were too stupid to understand that everyone is exactly the same, which is our primary goal as Americans, to try and group and mesh everyone together, like become one big ass melting pot, as one would say. I mean, it's just pointless to try and fight it. You know, it's like rape. You're gonna get raped by the economy one way or another. Why not try being nice to everyone else and let the government do what it does best? Try and make money. And I'm just saying. Or rather than letting the government do that, why not stand together and help prevent that shit from happening? You see what I mean? History will repeat itself unless we do something about it. You gotta think ahead. You gotta stay ahead of the game, bro. Anyways, this is Xantus saying good night. Toodles.